everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday, only here on YouTube. We will be joined with the Oldies and More Radio Network at midnight, but welcoming you to the YouTube stream. Those of you new to the show, I welcome Johnny G features original vinyl 45s. Out of his collection, I play 1950s and early 60s vocal group harmony. Lots of your requests this evening. So tonight's October 2nd, 2021 show. Amazing that we are in October already. I really can't believe that this year, with all that has happened, has gone by so fast. But again, thank you all for tuning into the Vinyl Treasure show this evening. And we opened up tonight's 50's show with Saxman Brown with the Broom Dusters. His real name was J.T. Brown, and he also used Bip Brown, but a great tenor saxophonist there. He's being backed up by Elmore James's band, the Broom Dusters, and Elmore James, I think he was also playing guitar on this, but it's from October 55 on the Meteor label. Saxman Brown with the Broom Dusters, Sax Symphonic Boogie was the name of the tune. Well, without further ado, let's get to the vocal portion here as we go up to Chicago with this group called the Ecuadors. The Ecuadors. This group did back up a few of Chuck Berry's tunes. You may know some of his songs like Childhood Sweetheart and Too Poop to Pop. They backed him up on that. And so Chuck Berry returned the favor by playing a cool guitar riff on this release. This is on Leonard Chess's Argo record label, November 1959. The opener tonight is by the Ecuadors. The Ecuadors on Argo. It's called Say You'll Be Mine.
Girl, come and go with me. You know I love you, goodness cheese. Ooh, little girl, you look so fine. Tell me, pretty baby, will you be mine? Tell me, do you live in my neighborhood? Ooh, little girl, I love you so. And I never, never, ever let you go. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. Will you marry me? We could live so happily forever and ever as a man and wife. I'll be with you the rest of my life. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love you for the rest of my life.
Yeah, we open up there from November 1959. It's on the Argo label. It's the Ecuadors. The Ecuadors on Argo. Say You'll Be Mine. Say You'll Be Mine tonight from 10 to 1 a.m. right here on YouTube and the Vinyl Treasure show. Let's continue here now. Last week, I played a request for Evan Blatt. He requested the Starlighters, their first of three on George Goldner's N record label. And the side I featured last week was called It's 12 O'Clock, a killer ballad, a wonderful ballad with Van McCoy on lead. But he wrote both sides of the songs on this 45, his first. which is a dance. Now, this song was played quite a bit on the Milt Grant Show. The Milt Grant Show was Washington, D.C.'s answer to American Bandstand. So he would play that record quite a bit on the show, probably every, these disc jockeys there trying to get their fill of the copyright or payola, but he would play this record on that show. But this is from August 58. You flip over, it's 12 o'clock. You get this cool up-tempo tune by the Starlighters with Van McCoy on lead. It's on the N label. It's called The Birdland.
All of us Birdlanders, Birdland across the floor. Here comes short fat Fanny, Birdlanding in the door. Here comes the long jaw Sally, man she is no square. She's Birdlanding with Skinny Jimmy, they're Birdlanding everywhere. And they're jamming in the kitchen, Bill is swinging in the basement. It's going up and down as the Birdland rounds and round. Here comes the Dita Donna, Birdlanding on the scene. Now she's a boss Birdlander, and you know what I mean. Here comes the Dizzy Lizzy, Birdlanding with a cat named Joe. Diana's in the corner shouting, go Lizzie, go, go, go. And they're jamming in the kitchen, Bill is swinging in the basement. It's going up and down as the Birdland rounds and round. They chant a little vibe, Billy kept that joint alive. Oh, there's a winner up and down as the Birdland rounds and round. Dance, 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 come on baby, dance. 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 Dance, dance, dance.
You see that end part reminds me of the Cavaliers on the Half label, Dance, Dance, Dance. I don't know why, but it does. But anyway, that's a cool two-sided 45. The Starlighters there, Van McCoy's very first record there from August 1958. George Goldner's end record label, The Birdland, is a cool dance tune. You get a great ballad on the flip. It's 12 o'clock. Well, it's not 12 o'clock yet. We're going to be here till 1 a.m., if not longer. Let's continue here. You know, we count down the music chronologically here on the 50s edition. And let's start it off here with a request for Daniel Kubacki. This group is originally from Los Angeles, California, and this is their first of two on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. And Daniel requested the Four Jacks. It features Ellison White on lead. We go back to an early side here, May 1952, on the Gold Top Federal label. These are the Four Jacks by request for Daniel. It's called You Met a Fool.
Schemes tore I tried to love you, but love wouldn't do, 'cause you had eyes for someone else. I loved you so long, but you did me wrong. I should have stayed by myself. You met a fool. Yes, I was your fool. I tried to love you, but love wouldn't do, 'cause you had eyes for someone else. I loved you so long, but you did me wrong. I should have stayed by myself. You with all your schemes tore up all my dreams.
That's by request for Daniel Kubacki. Those are the Four Jacks. Four Jacks, the first of two on Sid Nathan's Federal record label from May 1952, You Met a Fool. Cool, a nice, smooth ballad there for that one. In addition to their two releases on the Federal label, they also backed up other Federal artists like Lil Greenwood, Little Willie Littlefield, Shirley Haven, and Cora Williams. I have all those 45s. We'll feature them here on future Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue here for a Saturday evening now. Last week, I featured a group known as the Highlights. Their only release that came out on the OK record label. The side I featured last week was called Zanzi. We're gonna flip it over here for the killer ballad here. It's with Leroy Kirkland and his orchestra. Let's go back to October 1954. These are the Highlights on the OK label. This is a styrene press. I think the promos are also styrene if I'm not mistaken. But the Highlights on OK with their tune called I Had a Love.
I found a love. I found a love. I found a love. Mine to have, mine all along. And at last I found a love of my own. I found a love, darling. I found a love out on the sea. I found a love, and she wants me. I found a love. I found a love. loyal and true. I found a love, I still want you. I found a love, I found a love.
What a great tune that is there by the Highlights. Double-sided killer tune. I found a love. I said I had a love. I had it typed wrong. I found a love. Charlene didn't catch my mistake. No, October 1954. The Highlights there. The Flip of Zanzi. I found a love on the OK record label. Let's continue here. We stay in 1954 with a request for Tom Shaughnessy. It's a rare 45 on George Goldner's G label. This is the yellow and green G label. Now, the group is called the Colonials. Now, the song they do here dates back to 1931. I think it was first done by Josephine Baker, but so many others have recorded this. One that comes to mind right off the bat was a 1953 release on the Atlantic label by the Diamonds. The Diamonds out of Harlem, New York. But let's give a spin to the Colonials version. It features Bill Bass Gordon on lead. This is from October 1954. Bill Bass Gordon and his Colonials on the G record label. Their rendition of the tune Two Loves Have I. This is going out to Tom.
Two loves have I, and they tear me apart. Well, two loves have I, both are in my heart. One is a flame, well, and the other a spark. Now two loves have I, both are in my heart. When I'm in a gay mood, it's just then your life I pray. While other loves, my other lover makes me your slave. I can't deny. Well, to both I am true. Now two loves have I, both are in my heart. Two loves have I, and they tear me apart. Well, two loves have I, both of them are you. One is a flame, well, and the other a spark. Now two loves have I, both are in my heart. When I'm in a gay mood, it's just then your life I pray. While other loves, my other love makes me your slave. I can't deny. Yes, to both I am true. Now two loves have I, both of them are you.
Those are the Colonials. Bill Bass Gordon and his Colonials, George Goldner's G record label, October 1954. Their rendition of the tune Two Loves Have I. Lots of rare 45s. I'm missing the coins on the G record label. I have the other ones. I have Perfidia. I have another one. Can't remember. It might be an instrumental if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I'm missing that coins record. I'm missing a couple records on the G label. And that Jets is one that's I don't have in my collection. I have the Quintones. I have the Eminons. I have the Downbeats. I have, I'm trying to think what else is on that label. Johnny G drawing a blank here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue here as we head to Philadelphia now. Philadelphia, PA, with a request for Daniel Kubacki as we stay in 1954. Now, it's this group's fifth of 6 releases on the Grand record label, Herb Slotkin's Grand record label. I'm talking about George Grant and the Castells. Now, this tune originally done by Ted Daffin's, I think it's Ted Daffin's Texans. He gets writer credit on this. I think it was back in 1940, if I'm not mistaken. But let's give a listen to the Castells version of this as we go back to October of 1954. This is by request for Daniel, the Castells. Usually the side that gets played is Marcella, which is the flip of this. But we're going to flip it over here on Grand Records, George Grant and the Castells, and their rendition of the tune, I'm a Fool to Care.
I'm a fool to care when you treat me this way. I know I love you, but what can I do? I'm a fool to care. I'm a fool to cry when you tell me goodbye. You left me so blue when you were untrue. I'm a fool to care. I know I should lie and call it a day, but I know I would try if you went away. I'm a fool to care when you don't care for me. So why should I pretend I'll lose in the end? I'm a fool to care. I'm a fool to care when you don't care for me. So why should I pretend I'll lose in the end? I'm a fool to care.
As by request for Daniel Kubacki there, nice rendition by George Grant and the Castells. That's their fifth of 6 on Herb Slotkin's Grand record label, October 1954. I'm a Fool to Care. And Joe Barry had a big hit with that record. I think Fats Domino also recorded that song. So many people recorded that record. Don't ask me for the sixth. Don't ask me for the sixth Castells 45. I don't have it. I have it on 78. I have their last record on 78. Can't seem to find that 45. Plus, it's an ultra rare, their last one. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the tunes. Let's move into 1955 now. Actually, early 55 with a rare girl group sound on Herman Gillespie's. I think that's how it's pronounced. Gillespie's. Yeah, Nestor label. Nestor Records. I think it's out of Philadelphia. Featuring the intended B-side of this. It was written by Ben Smith. That's the same Ben Smith who was owner of Extra Records. He also was a saxophone player. He had his own band too. Maybe he's playing on this recording, but this group is called the Treble-Airs. This is the B-side. It's the jump side. Early 55. The Treble-Airs on Nestor. It's called I Gotta.
Well, I gotta have you by my side. I gotta have you by my side. 'Cause if you're not with me, baby, I'll never be satisfied. Don't know why I love you so. Never want to see you go. Whether it's work or whether it's play, nothing right when you go away. Well, I gotta have you by my side. I gotta have you by my side. 'Cause if you're not with me, baby, I'll never be satisfied. Went to visit Mother dear. She's the darling, have no fear. Sent him a wire, a short telegram. Baby, won't you come where I am? Well, I gotta have you by my side. Yes, I gotta have you by my side. 'Cause if you're not with me, baby, I'll never be If you ever leave again, take a trip to far off Spain. Go to Japan or maybe Siam. Everyone will know where I am. Well, I gotta have you by my side. Yes, I gotta have you by my side. 'Cause if you're not with me, baby, I'll never be satisfied.
Early girl group sounds here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. They're called the Treble-Airs. It's usually the flip side that get played. It's called the the Long Riding Train, I think, that gets played. But I needed an up-tempo there, and I like this one here by the Treble-Airs. Early 55, I think, but on the Nestor label. There's that label is a mysterious label for some reason. Supposedly the Monterey's is on that label. The Monterey's that were also recorded on the Teenage label. I have another one on Nestor. I forget his name. It's a single artist. I have it here somewhere in my mess, but those are the Treble-Airs. I Gotta on the Nestor label. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes tonight. If you're new to the Vinyl Treasure Show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be broadcasting at midnight on the Oldies and More radio network, so that won't be till midnight. But you can only hear me exclusively on Saturday night on YouTube, so tell your friends about it. Feature only original vinyl 45. Sometimes I try to get the records in mint, but sometimes that is totally impossible to do. And I have to apologize in advance for this next 45. It's a request for George Tompkins, but I thought I had another copy of this. I didn't pay a lot of money for this. I paid a couple bucks for it, but it's not really in great shape. It's got some gouge in it. It plays okay, but it's like annoying. But it's been in the box for a long time. George requested this a long time ago, and I said if I found a place that I could play it, I said I was going to feature it for him. But anyway, so this one here is by request for George Tompkins. Actually, and someone else requested it also. Listener Emnon had this on his request list. So again, I apologize in advance for the condition, but it's by Tommy Larkin, and he's being backed up. There's an uncredited group, they're not mentioned, but they really are the Kids who also recorded on Imperial as the Kids and also as the Pelicans. So I do have those 245s, but it was written by this singer. His name is Tommy Larkin. So this is by request for George and Emnon. Tommy Larkin and the Kids from August 55 on Imperial. It's called Lover's Plea. You're going to hear pops in this, but it's authentic.
I need your love, for it's a love that's true. I know my life is complete when my arms enfold you. My love is a flame that's never cold, a love that's always new to me, a love that never grows old.
Never grows old.
My darling, I swear by the stars above, my heart belongs to you, for I need your love. I found a dream, the dream of finding you, the dream of loving you, and that my dream has come true.
You guys got this as two gouges on there, and I apologize for that because that is annoying to me. Again, when I bought that record, I had no clue about who that was, but if I said it wrong, it's Tommy Lampkin, Lampkin. Tommy Lampkin being backed up by the Kids on that August 1955 on the Imperial label. Lover's Plea is the name of the tune. Now, I do have another record by him on Ebb Records, I think, from 1957. That's one of the labels that I run. I forgot to mention, I have to really say hello to Valente Avila, who is in my chat room. He's a really he survived COVID, but now he has the backlash of the COVID, so we want to wish him well, that he gets better. And I've been trying to help him along to feel better, and I think that's happening, Valente, because you wouldn't be able to be tuned in if you didn't feel well. So I hope you are getting better there. So just continue to do what you're supposed to do. You will return back, and thank you for being in the YouTube chat room. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and we go back out to the West Coast, and this is a request for listener Eddie Brown. Eddie Brown listening in New Zealand. I think it's afternoon there, Eddie, right? But he requested The Feathers, and this is the group's signature song. Many are familiar with this tune by the Jacks, but this is the original version. It features Johnny Staten on lead. It's on the Showtime record label. This is their I guess we'll say their second of three on the Showtime label, but this one's from April 55, The Feathers on Showtime, going out to Eddie Brown, the original version of Why Don't You Write Me?
Why Why don't you write me, darling? Send me a letter. Tell me you love me. Make me feel better. I love you. Yes, it's you I adore. You I adore. When I first met you, I realized, as for you, my dear, I did have eyes. Please, darling, won't you send me a line? Send me a line. I miss you so each day, although you've gone away. I guess I'll love you more and more. And as the days go by, I sometimes often cry to see your face once more. Call it my blessing, reach for a star. Why don't you write me and say how you are? Please, darling, won't you send me a line? Send me a line. I miss you so each day, although you're far away. I guess I'll love you more and more. And as the day goes by, I sometimes often cry to see your face once more.
Your smiling face once more.
Count it my blessing, reach for a star. Why don't you write me and say how you are? I love you. Yes, it's you I adore. Yes, it's you I adore.
That's going out to Eddie Brown, listening in New Zealand there. That's the original version with the Feathers, by the Feathers, April 1955 on the Showtime record label. Johnny Staton, he's the lead singer. The original Why Don't You Write Me? Of course, the Jacks did much better than that Federals version there. And this group, really their first release on the Showtime label, they backed up this female singer by the name of June Moy. I have that record called Desert Winds. I'll have to get that one out and play it for you here on the Vinyltreasure Show. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes tonight. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's very important. You'll get the notifications there. You can watch me on the ITV. Don't look at my legs like George is looking at my legs. You're supposed to look at the turntables and the 45s, not my legs. If I was auditioning as an actor, I am not an actor. I am an amateur disc jockey. That's what I am. So let's continue here. And we are in 1955 now. And here's a request for listener Joe Shacatano as we head to Cleveland, Ohio for this group. Now, this group, they knocked on Alan Freed's door in 1953, and they said, Alan, we could sing. Can we audition for you, and can you get us a recording contract with someone? So he listened to them and he said, well, maybe I can do this. So he did. He got them signed to Chess Records for 2 releases. Signed them for 2 releases back in 1953. You may know their first record, Nadine. Their second release is much harder, by the way. But then I guess nothing happened. Chess let them go. Alan Freed put his name all over the label. He wrote the song in his publishing, etc. But they had another release. This one's on Irving Leaf's Sterling label, which was local to Cleveland, Ohio. Actually, it's from Gives you the address out of Cleveland, Ohio there. But it's with the Bill Reese Quintet. They are providing the instrumentation, and these are the Coronets. The Coronets. Bobby Ward is the lead singer here. This is by request for Joe Shacatano. This is the original version of this song here from October 1955. The Coronets on Sterling with Don't Deprive Me.
Deprive me of the sunshine that lights the sky. Deprive me of the valleys, the mountains high. But please, dear Lord, in heaven above, please don't deprive me of love. Deny me every pleasure the world has known, and take away each treasure that I may own. But please, dear Lord, in heaven above, please don't deprive me of love. Let me know the sweet consolation of friends standing by when I'm blue. Let me have faith and trust in the world. That's all I ask of you. I'll live by your commandments religiously. If I should ever falter, then punish me. But please, dear Lord, in heaven above, please don't deprive me of love. Oh, please don't deprive me. Oh, please don't deprive me of love.
As by request for Joe Shacatano there. Those are the Coronets. The Coronets, Bobby Ward on lead, October 1955. It's on the Sterling record label. Don't Deprive Me. Now, many of you must be saying, well, wait a minute, I know that song. I know that song. Please don't deprive me of love, because it was covered in 1956, a year later, by the Four Fellows on the Glory. They do a nice, that's probably the version you remember, but that is the original version of the tune. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Story about this next 45 here. So I was looking for two more requests for tonight's show. One in the S box for Mady Campboy, my number one California listener, and another one for Eddie Brown. So Eddie Brown requested the Klinger Sisters from 1964 on Tolly. I had it checked off. I said, I know I have this record, but it might be in my 60s stuff versus my 50s stuff. And Charlene was like, well, Johnny, you did play it before, like in 2010. So I started looking through my C boxes here, and I went through them all. I didn't find it, so it's probably in my 60s box. So as I'm looking through, I see this record by the Chimes, and it's not really a legitimate press. And I'm thinking to myself, I said, wait a minute. I said, because I have a photographic memory. Mady requested a Chimes record not too long ago, because I know a lot of you that send me requests because you're either you either are looking for songs on YouTube, or you heard them on a CD and you really don't know if they were released or not. So Mady sends me her email and she says, Johnny G, I really, really love this song. If you can, hopefully you have it and you can feature it. So, you know, when I give Charlene the request, I say, Charlene, was this released? I don't know this record. So she says, Johnny, it wasn't released. It was a 1985 press, but I do see it on specialty on 45 Cat. I said, well, wait a minute. So I don't have it, because if I did buy these reissued records, Joel Scherzer would have sold them to me, at least when I was buying from him way back when in the 80s, because he'll say, Johnny, I got some new stuff that came in, by the cellos or something on Apollo, and I buy them for, $2 to $5, whatever he was selling. So I saw this in the box. I said, Charlene, did Matey request this? So this is a special request for Matey Campoy. And this is, we go back to Los Angeles, California, because in reality, this group called the Chimes had 2 releases on Art Roop's specialty label. This one was never released. It did come out in 1985, but it was recorded in December of 55. They might be a little bit off key, maybe, which is the reason why they didn't release it, but I still love the song. So this was originally recorded December 1955. It actually mentions an album on the label, so I'll show it to you. So originally recorded in December 55, released in 1985 on Specialty Records. Horace Wooten, he's the lead singer. It's going out to Matey Campoy. The Chimes on Specialty with The Chimes Ring Out.
Boom, 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 boom. The chimes are ringing. The chimes are ringing. The chimes are ringing for you and for me.
By request from my number one California listener, Matey Campoy there. Those are the Chimes. I'm sure many of you, that's the first time you're listening to that record because that was unreleased, but they recorded it. They recorded it December 1955, Art Roop specialty label. Somebody put that out. The Chimes Ring Out. Horace Wooten on lead. It says on the label here, it says, from the specialty LP. From the specialty LP, and they give a number. Is that truthful? I don't know. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for Joe Shacatano. He requested the Cashmeres. The Cashmeres out of Atlanta, Georgia. Their final release as the Cashmeres with a C. On Al Silver's Herald label, it was called Little Dream Girl. It was Nick Nicola said, Johnny G, flip the 45 over. It's got a pretty cool jump. And it features Grover Mitchell on lead. So we're going to send this one out to Nick Nicola. April 1956. We move into 56 now for the Cashmeres on Herald. This is going out to Nick. It's called Do I Upset You?
Ay, 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 I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know. What? Hey, hey, I wanna know.
I wanna know.
Do I upset you?
Tell me, baby.
I wanna know.
Well,
Do you really care for
understand that may be so. Baby, tell me, tell me, tell me, I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know. Say you love me.
Say you love me.
I wanna know. And if you really, really, really do, please don't make me flip my lid. You better come on in, you did. Baby, tell me, tell me, tell me, I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and there for Nick the Cashmere's April 1956 on the Herald record label, the flip side of Little Dream Girl. Do I Upset You? Although it sounds like they said I Gotta Know. It's what they really should have changed the name to. Now with their next release, they were known as the Marktones on the Ember label. Then their final release, they recorded on the Wonder label as the Cashmeres with a K. And I have that 45. We'll feature that on a future Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, 2 records ago, we featured the Chimes on the Specialty label. Well, they did some backup work too, and one of those artists that also recorded for the Specialty label was Tony Allen. And this is a request for listener Joe Shacatano. This is the follow-up to Night Owl. Actually, they backed up Tony Allen on Night Owl, but they messed up. They were called the Champs on that. On this one here, they're called the Chimes. So this is Tony Allen and the Chimes by request for Joe Shacatano. This one, January 56 on the Specialty record label. It's called Especially. This is going out to Joe.
Especially for you, I gave my heart to you. Especially for you, I vow to always be true for all of my life. And through eternity, you make an angel's dream come true, especially for you. You make me care, Lord knows right from the start. It's really a sin, dear, the way you're stealing my heart, especially for you. I turn the moon to blue, especially for you. There's nothing to do. You make me care, dear, right from the start. It's really all saying, dear, the way you're stealing my heart, especially for you. I turn the moon to blue, especially for for you, just especially for you,
especially for you.
Sound of California here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Tony Allen and the Chimes did so many great tunes there on the Specialty label. Other labels too, by the way. January 1956, the follow-up to Night Owl. Especially is the name of the tune, but it's especially for you. Johnny G's here, especially for you. The YouTube listeners, thank you all for tuning in to the Vinyl Treasure Show. If you're new to the show, please click the thumbs up button, the like button. I've been getting negatives from one person. We all know who that one person is. But if you're new to the program, please subscribe to the show. Thank you all for all your emails and tuning into the show. We are in the year 1956. Now, last week I played a request for Rick in Philly. He requested the Jivers, another great group out of Los Angeles, California. It's on Eddie and Leo Mesner's Aladdin record label. Featured the A-side of their first. It was called Little Mama, which featured John Salter on lead, but I also like the flip. I don't know, George, maybe you requested the flip side of this. I don't remember, but this is the side I bought the 45 for. Features Douglas Brown on lead, so we're going to give this one a spin before it goes back down in the No Humidity basement. Aladdin Records, July 1956. The Jivers with their tune called Cherie.
I love a girl and I want to be her lover man, Cherie. How I love you, I just want to be your lover man, your lover man. Cherie, just to be in your arms and to be filled with all of your charm for eternity, eternity. I think of you night and day, hoping that you would say you're mine always. I pray to the one above that he will give me your love,
Never to part.
Cherie, Cherie, I just want to be your lover man, your lover man.
Oh, think of you both night and day.
Both night and day.
Well, hoping that you will say oh, you're mine eternally,
eternally,
and I can be your lover man.
Cherie, Cherie, I just want to be your lover man.
Cherie by the Jivers there, July 1956 on the Aladdin record label. Cherie, the name of the tune. They have another one called Ray Pearl that I used to listen to when I was a young collector learning about the music. They used to play like two in a row by the Jivers. Johnny G, not jiving you. Original vinyl 45s every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. We go longer. George, I'm going to try to lessen it to make it so I can get off by 1:30. But to thank you all for the requests, let's continue here. Now, let's go to Boston, Massachusetts now with this next request for Tom Shaughnessy. You see, I get great... You listeners are so talented with your requests. Of course, I leave it up to me to at my discretion if records don't fit the show, but the requests I get and the comments I get and the listeners getting comments from other listeners that have owned these records in the past, you know that I have quality listeners. You all are quality listeners, and I consider you that. Someone would not say that, but I definitely say that. But this one here, we go to Boston, Massachusetts with this next request for Tom Shaughnessy. It's a debut single for this group on Sidney Siegel's Dawn record label, and it features Eddie Brooks on lead. Now, I showed you, I have a stock copy of this. The stock copies are the pink label, the Dawn label. It's a pink label, but I saw this white promo, and it was in nice shape. It's really nice, and it belonged to New England DJ Jim Mills. He was like a young DJ back in the 1950s, but then he kind of left. I think he left the DJing, and he became more of like an entertainer, like an entertainer contractor or something. But he was originally a disc jockey, and this was his record. He's got his sticker on it. I was contemplating taking it off, but then I said, nah, I'm not going to take it off because that's a piece of history on there. So we're going to send this one out to Tom Shaughnessy. These are the Sophomores from April 1956, and Eddie Brooks on lead. I know, George, you like this song too. It's a wonderful ballad, the Sophomores on Dawn. It's called Every Night About This Time.
Miss you so.
Every night about this time. Oh, how I miss you. Miss you. I drift into our old rendezvous every night about this time. The gang keeps on asking why you're not around, and I keep pretending that you're just out of town. Every night about this time, memories haunt me. Miss you. Wondering to who's dancing with you every night about this time. And whenever they croon our favorite tune, a tear falls with every rhyme. Oh, how I miss you. Every night about this time. Oh, how I miss you. Every night about this time.
That's going out to Tom Shaughnessy there. That's a nice, he wants to hear the flip side. So we're going to play the flip side next week, which is an up-tempo side. But that's a great tune. That's the debut single for the Sophomores, April 1956. It's on the Dawn record label. Every night about this time. That's their first of 6 on the Dawn label. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show as we stay in 1956 with a request for listener Cheryl Morgan. And Cheryl Morgan used to listen to The Stream, and I thought that I was having trouble with the uploading of my shows on the vinyltreasures.net, but it's my mouse. It's like double clicking, so it's been causing me complications. It seems to be working better now, but I tried to change all the settings, but I can't go in and change my site anymore. I don't know what happened to it. I have to get it all redone, but I still will upload the shows there. So if you want to stream or download the shows, if you miss any of the show, you can go to vinyltreasures.net. There's a link that'll just bring you to like a download page, and I think there's about 4 years of shows there, but they have been lengthy the last few months there. So, but you can download them if you'd like. So you can watch me live. You can listen on Oldies and More, at least on my Saturday show beginning at midnight. But I'll be on Monday from 8 to 11. I do an all 60s show on Oldies and More from 8 to 11. So I'll be there. But I'll be also on there. Oldies and More radio at midnight tonight. So let's continue here. And this is for Cheryl Morgan as we head back to Cincinnati, Ohio, to Sid Nathan's Deluxe label, one of the many great releases by this group, Otis Williams and his Charms. And it's a great disc jockey theme. This is like, I could probably there's a number of songs that talk about the DJs that were playing the dedications back in the 1950s and early 60s, and this is one of those songs here. This is my request for Cheryl, September 1956, Otis Williams and his Charms on Deluxe with their tune, I'd Like to Thank You, Mr. DJ, for Cheryl.
I'd like to thank you, Mr. DJ, for spinning the record I asked you to play. When my sweetheart heard my plea, she decided to come back to me. We had a quarrel and said so long, we didn't know just who was wrong. So I sent my request to you and found she had sent one too. We may have never spoken of, not knowing what to do. Our love affair may have broken up. If it hadn't been for you, we'd like to thank you, Mr. DJ. There's one more thing we'd both like to say, because you played our favorite tune. You're invited to our wedding in June. We may have never spoken of, not knowing what to do. Our love affair may have broken up. If it hadn't been for you, we'd like to thank you, Mr. DJ. There's one more thing we'd both like to say, because you played our favorite tune. You're invited to our wedding in
That's by request for Cheryl Morgan there. That's Otis Williams and his Charms, September 1956 on Sid Nathan's Deluxe Records. That's their 21st release on Deluxe. I think they have about 50-something altogether between Deluxe and King, just but Otis Williams solos with the Charms, etc. But I'd like to thank you, Mr. DJ. That's going out to Cheryl. Let's continue here. We move into 1957 with another great group. This group is from the Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and like the Charms, they had a ton of releases on different labels like Apollo and King and Home of the Blues and others. But it was listener John Ferry that requested this group. It's their 14th release, 14th of 28 releases on the King record label, and this one features Johnny Tanner on lead. This charted number 5 on KORD in Pasco, Washington. So we send this one out to listener John Ferry, May 1957, the Five Royales on the King label, and their tune called Think.
Think about the sacrifices that I made for you. Think of all the time that I spent with you. Think of all the good things that I've done for you. Think of all the bad things I try not to do. So come on, baby, and think about the good things. Think about the right things. Think about the best thing. And maybe before you leave me, you realize I'm the one that loves you. How much of all your happiness have I really claimed? How many tears have you cried for which I was to blame? None I can remember which was my fault. I tried so hard to please you, at least that's what I thought. So come on, sugar, and think about the good thing. Think about the right thing. Think about the best thing. And maybe before you leave me, you realize I'm the one to love you.
As by request for John Ferry there, the Five Royales. Johnny Tanner and the Five Royales, May 1957 release on the King record label. Think is the name of the tune, and that one there also covered by James Brown. 1960 he covered it on the Federal label. And I know John also he listens to Rockin' Jim Rigsby on KPOO out in San Francisco. When I had time, I used to listen to Rockin' Jim Rigsby. When I retire, I will go back to Monday evenings late and tuning into Rockin' Jim Rigsby. He's out there on the West Coast. I think it's about 11:30 or 12 o'clock our time that he's on out there on KPOO. But I got he used to send me some cool CDs of his specials. He used to run label specials, and I still have those here at the home. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening, spinning original vinyl 45s. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes. Thank you all for tuning in. Now, last week, I featured the Rockatones, this group out of Brooklyn, New York, with their lone release, Morty Kraft's Melba record label. The side was called Mexico, which was a Gus Gossard favorite, by the way. It was listener Darrell Letts and Andrew Turner asked, Johnny G, you got to flip it over, give a listen to the killer B-side here, which was co-written by the lead singer. His name is Bill Witt. This is a wonderful ballad. We're going to send it out to Darrell and Andrew, 1957. Give a listen to the Rocketones on Melba, and their tune called D-E-E-D-I.
Do, 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 do,
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's going out to Andrew Turner and Darrell Letts. Those are the Rocketones on the Melba label. D.I. is the name of that one. The late Bill Witt on lead. That one from 1957. Let's continue now. We stay in 1957. A great two-sided 45 here is requested by listener Daniel Kubacki. He requested both sides of this 45. On the Teenage record label, it's their first of two. It features Eddie Jones on lead. So we're going to send this one out to Daniel. He wants the up-tempo side first. And I like both sides of this record. I checked out the price. Greg Surik sold me this mint copy. I mean, he already had a copy. And Marvin Pod, your price is way too low for a clean copy of this record. It's really hard to find a clean first press of this. You can find a beat-up copy, and then there's second presses all over the place, but it's hard for this one. This is from August 57 on the Teenage label. These are the Demons. Eddie Jones and the Demons going out to Daniel. It's called You Broke My Heart.
You got me so, but darling, not long. For I'm no fool.
admit you got me so, darling, not for long, for I'm no fool anymore. You thought I cried when you called it quits, but I'm not going to lie. My heart was torn in bits. You know you've done me wrong. I admit you got me so, but darling, not for long, for I'm no fool anymore. Can we remain friends? You really saved the day. Too bad it had to end. Maybe it's better this way. You broke my heart, dear, right in two. And darling, now I fear for you. You know you've done me wrong. I admit you got me so, but darling, not for long, for I'm no fool anymore. For I'm no fool anymore.
As by request for Daniel Kubacki, those are the Demons, Eddie Jones and the Demons. Their August 1957 release on the teenage label You Broke My Heart. Yes, we're going to flip it over next week. Nick Nicola mentioned it. Their second release is much harder to find. I think I got swindled on that second one because I don't think mine's original. And what happened was, not that I paid so much for it, but it looked original, but I didn't have the right, I don't know, it didn't have... Much later I found out about it, and it wasn't that I paid a lot for it. They put tape over the like all the silver print on the label to make it look clearer, but it wasn't like your typical bootleg. I mean, I don't know if Ratio booted that record, their second release, but I think it's supposed to be a really thick press, and this one was not. So I rarely get taken. I really do rarely get taken because I'm pretty good with the presses. But I don't think I have the original on their other one, but which is much harder, by the way. But and yes, it was a Robert. Robert mentioned in the chat room that Eddie Jones was also the lead singer of the Emersons on Newport, and they do Joni, and also on Cub. They have like a Halloween song on the Cub label, and he's got some solo releases, by the way, Eddie Jones, that are in the Northern Soul vein that go for some big bucks. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue here, and here's a request for Eddie Brown. This group got together and recorded while they were attending Carver High School in Chicago, Illinois, and this was their only release. Came out on Howard Denton's Park label. I have 2 records on this Park label, that's it. But this song written by the lead singer, his name is Albert Sullivan, so we're going to send this one out to Eddie Brown. 1957, give a listen to the Four Gents. The Four Gents on the Park label. Their tune is called Linda. This is for Eddie Brown. Wait, we don't want to do that. Let's try it again.
Linda, I love you so, 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 Linda, Linda, I love you so, Linda, you know I love you so, Linda, you know how much I love you so, Linda, it will always be, I love you so, Linda, oh Linda, oh
Jazz by Request for Eddie Brown there. Those are the Four Gents with Albert Sullivan on lead. 1957 release on the Park label. Their tune called Linda. Now in 1958 this group split up. Half of this quartet would split. Half of it, Albert Sullivan, the lead, and John Staples joined with two others to form a group called the Belvederes, that same group that recorded on the Trend label. And the other two members left to form a group called the Twilights that recorded for the Impact label, I think in 1963. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We move into 1958 now with an ultra rare 45. This 45 is on Alfred Gatewood's Gatewood label, and it's a song he wrote for this group called the Clicks. Now I'm going to ask the two guys, the two experienced collectors in the room, listen closely to the lead singer on this, because I think the lead singer on this record is the same lead singer for the Sentimentals that recorded on the Mint label, and that would be Sylvester Jackson. I think he's singing on this song. That's my opinion. But this song was also covered in 1962 by the Logics on the Everlast label. And then in 1965, Alfred Gatewood, he re-released this on the Gate label as the Cufflinks. I have that 45 too. Somebody's got it on eBay for like $5,000, but I did not pay $5,000 for that Gate release. But this is an expensive record. It's got some center damage, but it plays pretty nice. So tell me if you guys think this is Sylvester Jackson, the lead of the Sentimentals, here on this one. It's from 1958. They're called the Clicks on the Gatewood label, and the song is called Only One Love.
How many loves? How many loves?
I only want one love. One true love. I don't want a new love. I only want you.
Only want you.
I only want one love. I don't want a blue love. Some fellows have two loves, but I only want you. My friends all say I'm crazy. But crazy as it may seem, I'm betting you will come through. I only want one love. I must have a true love. Have to love, but I only want you.
One love. That's all I desire.
One love, one love, one love.
What do you think, folks? You think that is the lead singer? The lead singer of the I lost my place. The lead singer of the Sentimentals. It sure sounds like it to me. And you know why? Because I'll just play a little bit of the other side. I didn't have it scheduled to play. But the other side is called, let's see, Teeny Weeny. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's see what the other side sounds like. Just a little bit. La 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 la. That's a different lead. It's a good up-tempo. That's a different lead, but I'm telling you, that sounds like the lead of the lead of the Sentimentals. I think that's Sylvester Jackson there. To me, it sounds like it, but it's 1958. Those are the Clicks on the Gatewood label. Only One Love. The Logics covered that song in 62 on Everlast, and I do have the Gatewood, the Gate release from 65. Spence sold me that Gate release. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't $5,000. That's a little bit extreme. But it wasn't four figures either, but it was from 65. It's pretty much a reissue, but a rare reissue. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on what you're listening to. But anyway, I think that's a pretty rare 45, to say the least. I know somebody has it. Bobby Leschak, I think he posted up that he has that 45 also, but not in that shape. But anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Here's a request for listener Emnon. This gal is from Harlem, New York. And she was crippled from birth, but that did not stop her from having a very successful singing career. And she recorded on many different labels through her career: Savoy Records, Groove, Cub, and here's one she did on RCA. Actually, it's her 4th of 5 for the RCA label. She's being backed up by the Cookies on this label. I think it's the same Cookies that would eventually go on to record on Dimension. I think it's the Cookies that recorded for Atlantic in 1956. I think they were doing a lot of background work too in New York City. But this one's produced by Lieber and Stoller, and it's Howard Biggs and his orchestra by request for Emnon. January 58, Veretta Dillard on RCA. It's called Star of Fortune.
Star of fortune, make him want me as I wanted him from the start. Star of fortune, lend enchantment, plant the seeds of love in his heart. Some search for beauty, some search for gold, some search for diamonds, so I've been told. To no such treasure do I aspire, except for the treasure of love's desire. Oh, star of fortune, make him need me as I've needed him from the start. Star of fortune, warm his kisses, light the fire of love in his heart. Unlike Aladdin, no lamp have I, no magic carpet to make me fly. So, star of fortune, I look to you to grant me the one wish I wish comes true. Oh, star of fortune, shine upon me, let his heart and soul be my own. Star of fortune, sprinkle stardust so his eyes can see me alone. Star of fortune, make him mine. Star of fortune, make him mine.
As by request for Amnon, that's Veretta Dillard. Veretta Dillard being backed up by the Cookies on the RCA record label, January 1958. Star of Fortune is the name of the tune. Let's stay in 1958 with a flip side. Last week I played a request for Daniel Kubacki. He requested the Gay Nights on the Pet label, featured the intended B-side. It was called Angel. Now, it was listeners Darrell Letts and George Tompkins said, Johnny G, you got to play the A-side before you file it back down in the no humidity basement. So we're going to do that right now. This is a West Coast press, as I have the East Coast press too, but they play differently. They do for some reason. But anyway, it's with Buddy Lucas and the orchestra, April 1958. These are the gay, I even have the pink promo, by the way. These are the Gay Nights on the Pet label, going out to George and Darrell. It's called The Loudness of My Heart.
Of my heart.
He's beat of my heart. He's so loud and clear. He's beat of my heart. He's tied your neck.
He's beat of my heart, dear. Beats so loud and clear. Beat of my lonely heart. Well, each time you're near me, each beat of my heart brings you one step closer to me. He's been of my heart. He's been of my heart, dear. Means I adore you so much. Been of my lonely heart. Means I need you so much. Never let you go. Because I love you so. He's been of my heart, dear. Beats so loud and clear. Beat of my lonely heart. Well, each time you're near me, beat of my heart brings you one step closer to me.
That brings me back to the early days of collecting. I used to hear that on all the collector shows. I didn't have the record yet. I found a whipped copy like at a garage sale, but then I was inundated. Whenever I saw the record, I tried to keep on upgrading and upgrading. But now I have like 3 different presses of that record, but it's a great 2-sided 45. And that one there going out to George and Darrell. April 58, the Gay Nights on the Pet label, The Loudness of My Heart. Well, if you're new to the Vinyl Treasure Show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about this unique channel. I know people sitting on their couches watching me on their ITVs, but sometimes it's difficult to get the chat. Maybe they can get the chat on their phone or on their tablet or on their PC, but you can, if you have an ITV, you can, go into YouTube, however you go into it, and you can watch it. And but you can even watch all the archives are there. I think I go back to 2015, but I'll be back on the air on Monday evening at 8 o'clock, 8 to 11. I'll be here on YouTube and also on Oldies and More Radio. I'll be there live streaming on Oldies and More Radio. Let's continue here now. Here's a side that I played last week was actually a request for Evan Blatt. He requested the Tune Masters, a song called Sending You This Letter. I featured it on the first press, which was George Gollner's Mark label, but Gollner re-released the record with a different flip side on his End label. And the first presses that came out, it didn't identify who the duet was with. They came out as Willie Wilson and the Tune Masters. So that is like the true first press on end. But then he re-released it as Willie and Arlene and the Tune Masters. And Arlene happens to be Arlene Smith of the Chantels, of He's Gone and Maybe's fame. So they said, well, let's get these two people together. Maybe we'll have a hit, maybe we won't, but evidently they did not. But it's a tune that Willie Wilson wrote, and it's a nice ballad. So let's give it a spin here. January 1958, this is the End label. This copy that I'm featuring is Willie Wilson and the Tune Masters. It's on N Records. It's called I've Lied.
I've lied to you. I've lied to you, my dear. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
And I hope that you will forgive me.
Oh yeah.
That's Willie Wilson and Arlene Smith. Willie and Arlene on the third press, or I should say the second press of this record on George Goldner's N record label, January 58. I've Lied is the name of that tune. Let's continue here. We are in 1958, and last week I featured the Ivy Tones by request for Daniel Kubacki, a group out of Philadelphia, and their release on the Red Top record label called Each Time, and it was Nick Nicola, Johnny G, Got to Flip the 45 Over. Great up-tempo tune here on the flip side before I file this one back here. So this one from May of 1958, and we'll send this one out to Nick, the Ivy Tones on Red Top. It's called Ooh Wee Baby.
Can be. All about her, she's all about me. I've got a girl as sweet as can be. All about her, she's all about me. Whoa, 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 I love her so. 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 When I kiss her in the morning, ooh, she says, ooh, wee, baby. When I kiss her in the evening, she says, baby, baby. I don't want you to leave me. I wanna kiss her at night. You say I want you to hold me real, real tight. And then I want you to love me with all your might. Well, I've got a girl as sweet as can be. I'm all about her, she's all about me. I've got a girl as sweet as can be. I'm all about her, she's all about me. Whoa, 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 I love her so. Whoa, whoa. So, whoa, 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 I love her so. Whoa, 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 I love her so. When I kiss her in the morning, ooh, evening. She says, baby, baby, I don't want you to leave me. I wanna kiss her at night. She said, I want you to hold me real, real tight. And then I want you to love me with all your might. Well, I've got a girl as sweet as can be. I'm all about her, she's all about me. I've got a girl as sweet as can be. I'm all about her, she's all about me. Whoa, 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 I love her so. 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 Whoa, whoa, whoa,
May 58 release there for the Ivy Tones. The Ivy Tones on the Red Top record label. Though it's blue, it's not red, although somebody named Jack, I think if you Louis' book, he's got a record that has this guy. I don't know who this guy Jack was, but evidently his records were sold or distributed out somehow. But anyway, that's for Nick Nicola, the Ivy Tones there, May 1958, Ooh Wee Baby. That record started to get some airplay, and Red Top couldn't handle it, so Liberty Records started to distribute that 45. Let's continue here. We stay in 1958 with a request for Rick in Philly. We go back to the West Coast here to the Class label. This group backed up Bobby Day on his Class releases. They were called the Satellites. Now, this song was written by Earl Nelson and David Ford, and it features Curtis Williams on lead. Yes, ex-member of the Penguins, Curtis Williams, is on lead here. And this charted regionally. This was a number 27 record on KOBY in San Francisco, California. This is by request for Rick in Philly, July 58, the Satellites on Class. It's called Heavenly Angel.
And always be near.
Tell me you love me. Always be near.
Heavenly angel. I'm down on my knees. I'm down on my knees. Just begging. Just begging. And praying. And praying. Please, please hear my plea. Please hear my plea.
Tell me you love me. Always be near.
As by request for Rick and Philly, they're digging on that tune there in the YouTube chat room. Really can't go wrong with the Satellites there, July 1958. It's on the Class label. Heavenly Angel is the name of that tune. I need the intervals. I don't have that intervals 45 on the Class record label. That's really the one I need on that label to complete the label. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the tunes here. 7 minutes before we bring in the oldies and more radio crowd here. So last week I played a request for Matey Campboy, this group out of Detroit, Michigan. They were known as the Royal Holidays. I featured it on its first press. It was Penthouse Records. It would later on be picked up on Joe Carlton's Carlton label, and the side that Matey requested was called I'm Sorry, parentheses, I Did You Wrong. And it was a listener, I think it was Andrew Turner and Darrell Letts, said, Johnny G, you gotta flip the 45 over. So I like the flip side. It's a cool jump side, and it features Vernon Williams on lead. This one from June 58. We'll send this one out to Andrew and Darrell. The Royal Holidays, featuring it on the first press, Penthouse Records. You can also get it on Carlton. It's called Margaret.
Yakky sacky yakky sacky yak. Yakky sacky yakky sacky yak. Yakky sacky yakky sacky yak. Yakky sacky yakky sacky yak.
Hey, hey, Margaret, you know I love you so. I'll never let you go. Yes, I love you so. Whoa, Margaret, oh please stay here. You know I want you, dear. Yes, I love you so. I'll follow you across the sea and all the way around the world. I love you, dear. Oh, can't you see? You're a man, a only girl. Hey, Margaret, you know I love you so. I'll never let you go. Yes, I love you so.
That's going out to Darrell Letts. Whoops, I lost my place. Darrell Letts and Andrew Turner there. The Royal Holidays, June 1958, releases on the first label, Penthouse Records, song called Margaret. And Vernon Williams, he's the lead singer on that. Of course, Vernon Williams become a member of the Satin Tones on the Motown record label. Let's continue here. In 1958, we go to Philadelphia, PA, with a request for George Tompkins. This is Artie Singer's Singular record label, and I really don't know much about this group, but this is the same label that Danny and the Juniors had the original version of At the Hop. It just has a different logo, but I have no information on this a group. They're called The Tops. It credits The Tops. This is from March 58. I love this tune, I really do. So this is by request for George Tompkins, The Tops on the Singular label from March 58. It's called An Innocent Kiss.
My, oh my, oh my, an innocent kiss. That's what it was meant to be. I just never dreamed what a kiss could do to me. My, oh my, oh my, an innocent kiss, one that I could leave or take. That was really what I thought. Oh, what a big mistake.
That's going out to George Tompkins there. Those are the Tops. The Tops on the Singular record label out of Philadelphia, PA, March 1958. An Innocent Kiss is the name of that record. I paid like $5 for that 45. Ed Sokol. That was the guy I was telling you. I used to go up to his house in Mount Kisco, New York, and I used to stay there till about 2 o'clock in the morning. I remember one time I was you drive on the Sawmill River Parkway in New York on a snowy night with like 10 inches of snow I think I had my Cutlass Supreme at the time. That's what I said. I'm going to go off the road and crash all these records in my trunk. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Want to welcome in the oldies and more listeners to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Thank you all for tuning in to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Johnny G here spinning my original vinyl 45s. We do it every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. here, and sometimes a little longer. We get picked up by the oldies and more stream beginning at midnight. So thank you all for tuning in. We are in the year 1958. We count down the music chronologically here. And here is a request for Cheryl Morgan. This group is out of 29 Palms, California. They signed with Eddie and Leo Mesner's Aladdin Records for this lone release. And it features Hasker Nelson. He's on lead here. This is by request for Cheryl Morgan. Also, we're going to send it out to George Tompkins because I know he likes this record too. And Nick, yes, you would have been correct because this is the kind of record that George would have requested, but he did not this time. Anyways, from May 58, these are the Four Palms. The Four Palms on the Aladdin label. Unfortunately, it is styrene, but this is for Cheryl, and we'll also send it out to George. It's Jeannie, Joni, Shirley, Tony.
Jeannie, Joni, Shirley, Tony, and all of the girls. Jeannie is the one with the wavy hair. Joni is the one who looks so fair. Shirley is the one with her baby blue eyes. Tony is the one who paradise. All these girls are so confusing to me. Jeannie, Joni, Shirley, Tony, who will it be? Where's Jeannie? Almost got me. Joni, personality. Shirley, very likely. Tony, oh so lovely.
As by request for Cheryl Morgan, we'll also send that one out to George Tompkins there. Those are the Four Palms. Hasker Nelson, he's the lead singer. May 1958 release on Eddie and Leo Mesner's Aladdin Records. Jeannie, Joni, Shirley, Tony. I'll send that one out to my sister Tony also, as her daughter had her wedding shower today in White Plains, New York. She's supposed to be getting married in November in the cold. I don't know. Anyway, this group also recorded as the Rainbows In 1959, they would change their name to the Rainbows with a release on the World Pacific label. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes. Welcoming in the Oldies and More radio network, and also those of you watching me streaming live on the video on YouTube. So if you want to check it out, you can come check it out on YouTube. Look for Johnny G's Vinyl Treasure Show. You can subscribe to my website, and you can also get notifications if you click the bell, and also please like the video. Very important. The YouTube brass love to see, and they've been giving me praise. They really have been sending me emails thanking me for what I have been doing. This is the vinyl community here, and thank you all for being part of the show tonight and being part of the vinyl community. No matter how you look at it, you don't have to be a collector. You can love the music. Let's continue here. We move into 1959 with a request for Nick Nicola. This is a rare 45 by another group out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, two members of this group, they left Otis Williams' Chimes to form this group. They were Winfred Gerald, and the lead singer of the group, his name is Lonnie Carter. And this came out on Eve Dodd's Esta label. So this is by request for Nick Nicola, July 59. They're called the Escos. The Escos on the Esta label. It's called I'm Lonesome for You. This is for Nick. Whoa, wait. Can't do that. Let's get it right, Johnny G. There you go.
I miss you, darling, more than you know. My arms are empty, and I need you so. Why did you leave me? What did I do? My heart is breaking. I'm lonesome for you. I tried so hard to make you love me too, but now I know you found somebody new. Oh, you are happy with someone new. Try to remember, I'm lonesome for you. I've tried so hard to make you love me too, but now I know you with someone new. Try to remember, I'm lonesome, lonesome for you. I'm lonesome for you.
That group called the Escos. The Escos are out of Cincinnati, Ohio. It's on the Esta label, Esta Records there. Rare 45, July 1959 by request for Nick Nicola, the Escos with I'm Lonesome for You. This same group that recorded for the Federal label. They do 4 nice sides on the Federal record label. Johnny G here, spinning original vinyl 45s. Hope you're digging on the tunes. Here we are in 1959. Now, on last week's show, played the very first release under using the Joe Bett, Berry Gordy Jr.'s Joe Bett Publishing music, a tune by Wade Jones called Insane. Great ballad, and it was Darrell Letts and Reed King asked Johnny G to flip the 45 over, as both sides of this 45 were written by the artist. His name is Wade Jones. So this one from January 59. This is Early Sounds of Motown from January 59. So we'll send it out to Reed and Darrell. It's Wade Jones on the Raber label. It's called I Can't Concentrate. This is Mr. Wade Jones.
Darling, I can't concentrate with you on my mind. Oh, I can't concentrate, think of you all the time. And I remember when you left, so good was my song. But if you just come back to me, I'll never do you wrong. Darling, I can't concentrate with you on my mind. Oh, I can't concentrate, think of you all the time. And when you said do not return, how my heart burned.
That's Early Sound of Motown here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Wade Jones with the Raber Voices. Gals in the background there, January 59 on the Raber label, I Can't Concentrate. Johnny G can concentrate every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. right here on YouTube and Oldies and More. Thank you all for tuning into the program. Let's continue here. This is a couple more here in 1959. I really can't tell you much about this next gal, this female singer, but I love this song, and it's on Phil Rose and Lou Sprung's Glory label. Lots of great records on the Glory label. Now, her name is Barbara Mood, and there is an uncredited vocal group backing her up on this. I'm not thinking it's possible. The Four Fellows may have broken up already by this time. I'm not sure if they went on to this, because this record was released in May of 1959, so Charlene nor I could verify, but this is really a cover song. This was recorded or released earlier in the year of not 59, February 59. It came out on Apollo Records by Ann Ford. Ann Ford did this song first, but this is a nice cover by this gal Barbara Mood and an uncredited group. It's from May 59. It's on the Glory label. Let's give a listen to the tune. It's called The Fool.
Somebody wins and somebody loses. My aching heart is covered with bruises. I'm sick and tired of all your abuses. It turned out that I was the fool. I was the fool. I can recall when you were my lover, till you began to work undercover. I never dreamed you would fall for another. It turned out that I was the fool. I was the fool. It's too late now to make amends, for I've lost faith in you. I trust that we can still be friends. The best of luck in all you do. True love is blind, and my love was true, dear. Bear that in mind. Whatever you do, dear, lest she should find another love too, dear, and you find that you were the fool. True love is blind, and my love was true, dear. Bear that in mind. Whatever you do, dear, lest she should find another love too, dear, and you find that you were the
fool. Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Barbara Mood and an uncredited group on the Glory label, May 1959 release, song entitled rendition, also on the Apollo label. But that's a cool tune. Johnny G here spinning original vinyl 45. Up next, a request for Nat Papagallo. Nat, I haven't heard from you in a while. I hope all is okay with you listening down in Naples, Florida. But this group is out of Brooklyn, New York. They first recorded as the Shy Tones in 1959. Then they would change their name to the High Tones, but this one and this record was second pressed as the High Tones on the Fonska label, but it originally came out on Good Spin as by the Shy Tones. So this is from November of 1959. It was written by the lead singer. His name is Graham Lee True, and this is by request for Nat. The Shy Tones on Good Spin. It's called Just for You.
I do believe that the God above sent you down for me to love. He picked you out from all the rest, 'cause he knew I'd love you best. I had one heart, oh mine it's true, but now it's gone from me to you. Take care of it as as I have done. For you have two, dear, and I have one for you. Just you, just you. So I'll tell the stars, dear, the stars so small, that I really love you most of all. Would you give me each and every day? Just you, just you. So I'll tell the stars, dear, the stars so small, that I really love you most of all. Won't you give me each and every day? Well, if you love me, dear, as I love you, and I know your love is true, then promise me we'll never part. Just for you I give my heart to you. Just you, just you. You, just for you.
They are called the Shy Tones, aka the High Tones. This one released in November of 1959 on the Good Spin label, Just For You. It's going out to Nat Papagallo there, and they would re-release this in 1961 on the Fonska label, and they would have another release on Fonsko, which is called No More Pain, which is much harder than their first release. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week, I played a request for Nick Nicola, this group out of Jersey City, New Jersey. Their second of three on the J-Mar record label. They were called the Shantons, and the side that Nick requested was Lucille. He also requested the flip side of this rare 45, as did Daryl Letts. So let's flip it over for Nick and Daryl. Features Skip Brown on lead. He also recorded as Skip Jackson. This one from January 1959, the Shantons on the J-Mar label. You flip over Lucille, you get this cool flip side. It's called To Be in Love with You.
To be oh darling, that is the question that can only be answered by me. Well, I never loved anyone like I love you. Oh darling, you're the only girl that thrills me through and through. To be or not to be in love with you. Well, I never loved anyone like I love you. Oh darling, you're the only girl that thrills me through and through. To be or not to be in love with you.
Whoa, there you go, folks. Jaji getting caught here. I wonder why it's doing that. It should be okay. I see that it's back. It's unbelievable. It shouldn't be buffering here. I had a big to do with the cable company about the streaming, because it's streaming okay. 6700 KBS, so it's good. I don't know why that happened there like that. I apologize, folks, for that. Maybe sometimes there's some quirks there because I do have the high speed, especially at this hour here. It shouldn't really be an issue. But anyway, so let's continue here. Well, actually, we just heard the Shy Tones here, great two-sided 45, and their rarest one too, by the way, with Skip Jackson on lead there. That's going out to Nick Nicola and also Daryl Letts, January 59 on Jamar Records, To Be in Love with You. Let's continue here. Here's a request for listener Amnon as we have another great sound out of Los Angeles, California. I featured the both sides of this group's follow-up to this song. It was called Oops, and I forget the other side, Nick, what it was, but a great two-sided 45 and ultra rare. But this is their first press. I heard this first on the Ronnie I Just For You show, so it's the first of two for this group on the Noble label. Now, the true first presses of this ultra rare, they came out as the Marquees, but then they changed their name to the Tabs, and this features William Gardner on lead. This is by request for Amnon, 1959. Give a listen to the Tabs on the Noble label. We head back out to California, and we just never really ever forget these tunes. This one's called Never Forget for Amnon. Sound of California here on the Vinyl Treasure Show by request for M. Now I'll also send that one out to George Tompkins. The Tabs 1959 release on the Noble label. Never Forget is the name of the tune. You can also get that 45. They re-released it again in 1960 on the Gardena label. Another California label there for some reason. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We stay in California. We go to Los Angeles, California. Earlier, you know, we heard from Tony Allen and the Chimes on the Specialty record label. Well, Tony Allen returns under an alias. His name is Bobby Starr, and this is a request for Rick in Philly. Rick in Philly requested this cool tune from June 1959. I know that George also likes this tune, and also Nick Nicola, written by this singer. Well, does he get credit? Yeah, he gives himself credit. Bobby Starr, but it's really Tony Allen. This is on the Radio label, Radio Records out of Malibu, California. There's some country on this label and rockabilly and great records like this one. By request for Rick and Philly, June 59, Bobby Starr, aka Tony Allen, and group on radio. It's called Please Give Me a Chance.
Let me make up for hurting you so. I will make our romance a thing we used to know. Let me my love.
As for Rick and Philly, as the cool California sound by Bobby Starr, a.k.a. Tony Allen, June 59 release on the Radio label, Please Give Me a Chance. I don't know why the buffering is happening. I see it. It's KBS is streaming there. Sometimes it happens there. You never know what's going on with this uploading stream. And I just sent back that gateway modem because he said, don't change it, John. If it's working right, you should keep it. I said, after all that rigmarole, I said, but I need the upload speed. He said 38. The upload speed is 38. That should be more than enough to stream properly. But sometimes, you never know what's going on with the upstreaming. A lot of people download. They don't upload mostly. But anyway, let's continue here. And we go to Philadelphia now. This is a rare 45 on the Van Dyke, VAN space DYKE label. This is a request for listener Amnon. This group is called the Globe Lighters, and this is their debut single. They have others on the Guidon label. I know I have the one on Philtown, but they became more soulful. But this is for Amnon as we go into early 1960 now. Give a listen to the Globe Lighters, GLOBLITERS, the Globe Lighters on Van Dyke for Amnon. It's called If I Were a King.
If I were a king, I'd give you my crown. If I were a duke, you could have all I own. But I am what I am. That's the way it's gonna be. So come on, pretty baby.
They're called the Globe Lighters. The Globe Lighters out of Philadelphia. That's early 1960 release by request for Amnon on the Van Dyke label, If I Were King. Johnny G is the king of vocal group harmony every Saturday on YouTube from 10 to 1 a.m. Let's continue here. I apologize. What's going on with the freaking buffering here? All of a sudden here, I see it. It's going back and forth there, but at least it keeps on. You can go to the oldies and you can go to the stream on Oldies and More Radio. If for those of you on Facebook there, I'll just type in Oldies and More Radio if it's bothering you, Fred. But you can't view it. Hopefully it'll be updated here. It's still recording. Let's continue here. And we are in 1960, and this is a request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, this girl group on the Queen record label. I know their names because they get writer credits here. I don't know who's doing lead, but they're called the Starlights. It's from April 1960. Queen Records. This is going out to Matey. It's called My Darling. These are the Starlights. As by request from Matey Campboy, a nice girl group sound for the Starlights, April 1960 release on the Queen record label, My Darling. Now, I see that my upload speed is not good. So I don't know what's going on here. Is something running in the background or not? Because it should not be 18. No way should it be 18. So something's happening here. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go back to Philadelphia with a request for Rick in Philly, as I like both sides of this 45 on Buddy Caldwell's Len record label. The artist goes by the name of Herb Johnson. Herb Johnson. There is an uncredited group backing him up on here, but they are really the Cruisers. The Cruisers are backing him up on here. Let's give a listen to Herb Johnson by request for Rick in Philly, January 1960 on Len. It's called Have You Heard?
Have you heard about the stars that shine up above? Have you heard that people say we're in love? There is something I want you to know.
As by request for Rick and Philly, Herb Johnson and the Uncredited Cruisers backing him up there, January 1960 on Buddy Colwell's Len record label, song entitled Have You Heard? And I apologize for the buffering now. All of a sudden, this buffering here. So if it's troublesome to you, please go to the Oldies and More stream, Oldies and More website, oldiesandmoreradio.com. I'm sorry. Oldies and More, the letter N, more radio.com. You can hear the show okay there. It should be working fine there on the stream time. That looks fine. I've been broadcasting for 44 minutes. The upload speed could be problematic. I apologize for that. Let's continue here on the Vinyltreasure Show. We move into 1961 for this next artist born in Washington, D.C. His name is Bobby Taylor, and this is a request for Svetlana. If I could say your name correctly, Svetlana, you requested this to Kuznetova, if I said it right. And I apologize if I butchered your name. I do. But she requested Bobby Taylor, and he's being backed up by a band, Charlie and the Jives here. They're originally from San Antonio, Texas, but while they were all at Fort Sam Houston Air Force Base, they backed up Bobby Taylor and formed this group, and they recorded as Bobby Taylor with Charlie and the Jives. And this one charted number 39 on WNHC in New Haven, Connecticut. So this is going out to Svetlana. Svetlana requested this, Bobby Taylor with Charlie and the Jives, November 61 on the Hour label. It's called 7 Steps to an Angel.
Everything you say and do, I'll keep our love as sacred as long as your love is true. 7 steps to an angel, that's how far
definitely a takeoff of the 10 Commandments of Love, I'd say. But that's Bobby Taylor with Charlie and the Jives. That's by request for Svetlana, November 1961. It's on the Hour label, HOUR Records. It's styrene. It had a couple of pops in there. I bought that from Ralph Barton. Paid like $8 or something for that record. But this is Bobby Taylor, the 7 Steps to an Angel. Same Bobby Taylor went on to form Bobby Taylor and the Vancouvers that recorded for the Gordy label. That's his debut single, that record from November of 1961. It seems like the speed is back. It's up to 32, so I don't know what was going on here. Let's continue here, and we are in 1961. We go back to Los Angeles, California. This is a request for Cheryl Morgan. She wants to hear the Untouchables, and they had 45s on the Madison record label. Here's one on the Liberty label. This charted number 12 on WAKE in Atlanta, Georgia, and the writers are Chester Pipkin, and the lead singer on this, his name is Bryce Cofield. So this is by request for Cheryl, April 61. Give a listen to the Untouchables on Liberty. It's called Lovely D. April 61 release for Cheryl Morgan there, the Untouchables. Bryce Cofield on lead. The guitar riff in there reminds you of the You're So Fine by the Falcons. That's what I say, but that's on the Liberty label. Lovely D is the name of the tune. Now, what is this next song? So we're kind of like calling the lawyers on these next two songs as we stay in Los Angeles, California. This is on Bob Keene's Donna record label, and a request for my number one California listener, Matey Campoy. Matey, I don't know if you heard earlier in the show, I played a bonus record for you by the Chimes. You got to go back and check from 1955. But here we are in 1961. This is, she requested Al McGee here, who also has a 45 on the Aries label as Al Mac, M-A-C-G-E-E, but this is Al M-C-G-E-E. And this is on the Donna label. To me, it sounds like he might have been inspired to sing this listening to...
Tender beloved, you're so kind and so sweet. And something happens every time that we meet. Tender beloved, I love you so. Tender beloved, tender beloved, tender beloved, be my very own. And stay here beside me and never leave me alone. Tender beloved, I love you so. Oh, 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 oh. And with every breath I make, I know that my love is true. With every breath I make, I know that my love is true. Tender beloved, be my very own. And stay here beside me and never leave me alone. Tender beloved, I love you so. Tender beloved, I love you so. Tender beloved, tender beloved,
As by request from Eddie Campoy there, Al McKee, July 1961 on the Donna record label. Tender Beloved is the name of the tune. I shut down everything, so it said it says what it's pulling on is my OSB studio, but I need that to broadcast. So I don't know what's going on. I checked my task manager. So anyway, I don't know what's going on with that, but let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for Amnon. He requested the Caravels from August 1961 on the Star Maker record label. It was called Pink Lips. And who was it? I think it was Darrell Letts that asked me to flip the 45 over, saying this is what Johnny G is, an angry angel at this point with what's going on with the streaming issue here. But it's from August 61. We'll send it out to Darrell Letts. The Caravels on Star Maker. It's called Angry Angel for Darrell.
I know what's right, and I know what's wrong, but when temptation came, I went along. What's there to say except I'm sorry? Angry angel, you're a devil when you're jealous. I ran around, we met, I settled down, and you're still upset. Don't act this way or you'll be sorry. Angry angel, you're a devil when you're jealous. Yes, you are jealous. I repent the time I spent with other girls before you, but yes, I was lonely. On my knees I beg you, please believe me, I'll be true. Can't you tell that I adore you?
As going out to Darylettes there, the Caravels. Caravels with Harry Gates on lead, August 1961 release on the Star Maker record label, Angry Angel. Let's continue here, 1961. On the September 11th show, I played a request for Tom Shaughnessy. He requested the Paragons with their rendition of the tune Begin the Begin. He also requested the another release by the Paragons, actually their first release on the Tap label, and it's another cover song here. I don't know who did this first, but this song called If was recorded by many groups, but let's give a listen to the Paragons version. This one here from April 61, their Paragons out of Brooklyn, New York on the Tap label. Features Alan Moore. He's the lead singer on this. Going out to Tom, the Paragons on Tap with their rendition of the tune If. As going out to Tom Shaughnessy there, the Paragons. Where do you hear that record? When's the last time you heard the Paragons version of that tune? It was on Styrene. I apologize for that, but anyway, that's the way it goes. April 1961, Alan Moore on lead with the Paragons on the Tap label. That's their first of three on Tap with their rendition of the tune If. Let's move into 1962 now, and last week I played a request for Nick Nicola by the Stereos. The Stereos, they originally recorded as the Buckeyes. They were out of Steubenville, Ohio. It was called Echo in My Heart, but we're going to flip the 45 over. Actually, we're going to send it out to Nick Nicola, also to Darylettes, Andrew Turner. They requested it also. This is the up-tempo side. It features Bruce Robinson on lead. We go to October of 1962 for the Stereos on Columbia. Mine is a styrene press, believe it or not, but it's a cool tune. It's called Tic Tac Toe.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
As going out to Nick Nicola, Andrew Turner, and Darrell Letts. The Stereos there, the Stereos, Bruce Robinson on lead, October 62. Very rare 45 called Tic Tac Toe, the flip side, a nice ballad, Echo in My Heart. Came out on the Columbia label. That was only issued in Chicago and Philadelphia, 2 test markets. And for some reason it didn't do well, then they pulled the record. Unfortunately, they pulled the record. Let's continue here. And we are in 1962. This is a special request for George Tompkins. He requested Charlie Fuqua's Ink Spots. This is from August 62. This group, this Ink Spots, around forever, but of course different members throughout the years, of course. But this one came out on the Ford record label, and it features Joe Van Loan on lead. The bass here that you'll hear, his name is David McNeil. He's on bass. So this is by request for George Tompkins, August 1962, Charlie Fuqua's Ink Spots. It's on the Ford label, Joe Van Loan on lead, and their rendition of the Hawaiian Wedding Song for George.
This is the moment I've waited for. I can hear my heart singing. Soon bells will be ringing. This is the moment. Oh, sweet love, I will love you longer than forever. Promise me that you will leave me never.
Honey child, hear me now, baby. With all the love in me, I'll gladly vow. Do you know I could love you long, long and forever, honey? If you'd only promise to leave me never. You see, now that we are one, honey, even dark, dark clouds can't hide the sun.
The skies have a white smile on this our wedding day. I do love you. With
That's the great voice of Joe Van Loan. Oh my goodness. He really can get up there with his voice. That's by request for George Tompkins, August 62. Charlie Fuqua's Ink Spots on Ford Records, Hawaiian Wedding Song. George, is it from Canada, this record? It says New York on the it says New York on my copy. Ford Records, I have a bunch of stuff from the 50s too. Maybe it is. I don't know. Let's continue here. I want to get all these in really quick here. So up next, we are in 1962. Let's go to Jack Gold's Terrace label. This is a request for listener John Ferry. Great two-sided 45. Actually, this artist released two on the Terrace label, but both releases share this one side, a great record called Long Time. But the flip sides are different. This is the flip side of the second release. 50's of Terrace 708, and there's no mention of a vocal group backing them up, but they are. They're called the Travelers, backing up this singer by the name of Ronnie Cates. This is going out to John Ferry, September 62. Ronnie Cates on the Terrace label. It's called For My Very Own.
Each time I see your face before me, I get a thrill I'll never know how. To hear you whisper you adore me, then all the world is mine alone. You know, baby, how I love you. You know, baby, how I need you. You know, baby, how I want you for my very own. Yeah, yeah. The way your lips meet mine so sweetly, I feel my every dream come true. The way you give your love completely, I bless day I found you. You know, baby, how I love you. You know, baby, how I need you. You know, baby, how I want you for my very own. Now come on, baby, come on back to me. Yeah, 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 baby, I need you, baby. Now come on, come on back to me. Yeah, 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 baby, I need you, baby. Now come on, mama, come on now, baby.
As going out to John Ferry there, September 62. Ronnie Cates and the Travelers on the Terrace record label, For My Very Own. The flip side is a song called Long Time. Have that on a California press vinyl promo, white promo. But that is the styrene press. Sounds pretty good. Let's continue here. We move into 1963 now. This is a request for Joe Shakatana as we head to the Bronx, New York. The lead singer of this group recently passed away. Lenny Dell of the Dimensions. He passed away, and this is a cover song by the group. This one charted number 95 on Billboard, number 7 on WJAB out of Portland, Maine. It's their third of 9 releases on the Coral record label, January 63. These are the Dimensions, going out to Joe Shakatano on the Coral label, their rendition of the tune My Foolish Heart.
The scene is set for dreaming. Love's knocking at my door, but oh my heart, I'm reluctant to start, for we've been fooled before.
The night is like a lovely tune. Foolish heart, how white the ever-constant moon. Take care, my foolish heart. There's a line between love and fascination. That's hard to see on
of a kiss,
magic of kisses.
your lips
Are much too close to mine. Beware my foolish heart.
But should our eager lips combine, then let the fire start. For this time it isn't fascination or a dream that will fade and fall apart. It's love.
This time it's love, my foolish heart. This time it's love, my foolish
As Lenny Dell and the Dimensions just passed away. Lenny Dell not too long ago, unfortunately, January 1963, by request for Joe Shacatano on the choral record label My Foolish Heart. We're going to rush through these so we don't keep you guys that long. Now, up next, a request from my number one California listener, Mady Campo. We go to Philadelphia, PA for this girl group. Have no info on the group, but they're known as Tootie and the Bouquets. It's from September 63, Parkway Records. This is for Mady, Tootie and the Bouquets. It's called You Done Me Wrong.
You done me wrong. 'Cause you were untrue. Now you ask me what did Daddy do? You said you were home. You were home to stay. But you left me alone. And when 1,000 Mama loved you so, and wanted you to stay. But you done Mama wrong. Now Daddy must pay. You done me wrong. You said goodbye. Now the joke's on and it's your turn to cry. You did me wrong. You broke my heart. You tore it apart.
Girl groups here on the Vinyl Treasure Show by request for Mady Campoy, September 63 on the Parkway label, Tootie and the Bouquets, song entitled You Done Me Wrong. Let's continue here. We are in 63. Here's a request for listener Amnon, this group of brothers out of Washington, D.C. This is the second of two. They recorded on a number of different labels, but this is on the Comet label, and this is the This is their second of two. It features Horace Scott on lead. They're called the Scott Brothers from 63. This was originally done by Jordan and the Fascinations. This is a cover tune here. The Scott Brothers on Comet with Love Me Tenderly.
I know you can love me tenderly, and I know you can make a fool of me. Oh, yeah. Oh, tenderly, tenderly. Oh, when you hold me tight. When you squeeze me, love, I know it's right. Tenderly, yeah, yeah, just like the autumn leaves caress the trees. I'm like a mother love a child. Oh, stand beside you all the while, facing the future with a smile. And of this there is no doubt. When you touch me, love, you make me shout. Oh, yeah. Oh, tenderly, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you can make a fool of me, and I know you can love me tenderly, yeah, yeah. Come on, baby, tenderly, tenderly. I say now, oh, hey, 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 hey. Oh, come on, baby. I know you can love me. Oh, come on, baby. All you gotta do is hold me. You love me tenderly, baby.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyltreasure Show. That one there for Emnon, the Scott Brothers, 1963 on the Comet label. Love Me Tenderly, originally done by Jordan and the Fascinations. I think Fascinations. Charlene didn't have that on here. But we're going to flip it over for Andrew Turner next Saturday night. Let's continue now. 3 more 45s to go before we sign off here. Now, Charlene, you forgot one of the other groups that recorded this next record as I draw a blank. But this is a request for Matey Campboy. This is a duo. They're from originally from El Paso, Texas, but they moved to Los Angeles, California. They are brothers. They are Benny and Joe Rodriguez. And this song was first recorded, I think, in 1959 on the Yucca label by the Rhythmaires, Heirs, which I have. And then it came out on the DCB label, I think it is. The song, it was Charlene, I'm forgetting the name of the group. I told you to put that in here. Didn't get a chance to recheck this, but then this is the third release by the group called the Heartbreakers, this duo. It's from May of 63. It's on the Donna record label. Give a listen to this cover of the Heartbreakers called Cradle Rock from May 63.
Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop when the wind blows Don't make me cry for you. Don't make me die for you. I never thought it'd be like this. But in the end, you see, you took the best of me. So down without, down came my heart. You learned to love me much too late. Offer me kisses I wouldn't take. When the wind blew, you saw me fall. So down, 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 down. Down will come, baby. Cradle and
As by request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, the sound of the Heartbreakers. They were a brother duo, Benny and Joe Rodriguez, May 1963 on the Donna label. Cradle Rock, I have the rare version by the Uniques on the DCB label, I think it is. The Rhythmaires, they did it first on the Yucca label, and this group probably have the releases on the Linda label. That is correct, Charlene, not on the Brent label. That is not correct. As we continue here, two more 45s to go before we sign off here. This is a request for listener Joe Shacatano. This group is from Middletown, Pennsylvania, and it's their only release. Came out on the Kingston label. This Kingston label is out of Reading, Pennsylvania. It was written by the organ player of the group. His name is Emmett Smith, but it features Jimmy Newman on lead. This one from 63, going out to Joe Shacatano, the Exciting Invictas. The Exciting Invictas on the Kingston label. It's called I Don't Care. That's a great ballad by request for Joe Shacatano, the exciting Invictas from 1963 on the Kingston label, song entitled I Don't Care. Well, Johnny G cares. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to my original vinyl 45s. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for your requests. I apologize for the buffering tonight. I don't know what it is. I ran the speed check there. It looked like it was working fine, but something must be interfering with the speed tonight. Who knows, really, because it has been working fine, and I do have the upgraded speed, and they told me not to connect that gateway modem. I didn't need to do it, but I understand. My brother tells me Comcast is the better company to go with. I can probably, and I'm gonna dump Optimum. They are just horrible. I would not recommend them. I told them I was going to come out negative against their product, but anyway, I don't want to keep you guys here. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Charlene, for your help, and send me your requests at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Tell your friends about the program. They could subscribe to Johnny G's Vinyl Treasure Show. You also can tune in live on oldiesandmoreradio.com. You can go to the website. You can tune in there. I go on at 12 midnight on Saturday nights, but I'll be there live from 8 to 11, spinning 1960s 45s out of my collection. So again, I got a bunch of people that tune in on that show. It's a different time. It's much earlier. Maybe when I retire, it'll be a little bit different. I'll have a little bit more time to do things at different hours. But again, we'll see how it goes. But for now, we'll be keeping these time slots. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for your requests. And thank you all for supporting Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show again. So we're going to close tonight with my number one California listener, Mady Campoy. And she requested this girl group on the Gaiden record label. Now, according to Ferdy Gonzalez's disco file, Charlene says this is the same group that recorded on the Herald and Lane Records. I'm not sure I know that, but maybe not. I think this is a girl group out of Philadelphia. And KO Records, I know there's a group called the Sonnets, because this group is called the Sonnets. I don't know if they are the same. They might not be. But either way, it's still a cool tune to close the show out tonight from June 64. The Sonnets on Gaiden, called Forever For You is the name of the tune, and that's a request for Mady Campoy. And I think it's a nice song because it mentions Johnny G's name in it. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I'll be signing off right after this. So that's going to do it, folks. Join me Monday evening, those of you into 1960s music, join me from 8 to 11. If not, I'll see you next Saturday at 10 o'clock right here on YouTube, and then midnight on Oldies and More Radio. Thank you all. Everybody have a safe and happy week. Just want to say, everybody, so long for Mady, the Sonnets.